Good morning. I'm on my way to work, and as you see the title here, there's some concern for me as it relates to this daycare business or the school system. I wouldn't really say the school system, but daycare. My son has been in daycare, and it's been one of those challenging time for me. I must give an accountability in terms of there are times that I make mistakes in terms of, with the scheduling. But there's still concern in terms of making payments. Daycare is super expensive, right? And when I thought about when my child is sick, my child has to stay home and I still have to pay. And I don't know if this video is going to come off as if I'm ranting or whatever, but I just want to give my opinion and I want to hear your thoughts on it, because this is really getting me like upset, and I feel like I need to have a meeting with, I'm just trying to figure it out. Today while I'm at work, I'm going to figure this out because it's alarming to me. Hey, Drew Ross, good morning, morning. So my concern is I was supposed to drop off my son to daycare this morning, and I got a message very early this morning about the provider being sick, right? And I understand that. But at the same time, I still have to pay the weekly fee. So whether my child goes or not, I still have to pay the fee. And now this is a big inconvenience for me. This morning, I had to figure it out, and I still have to make the payment for this week. And I have to pay somebody to watch my child. So make it make sense. Like it's not making any sense to me. Yeah, it's not right. So I'm saying to myself, then if the providers say, okay, maybe you need to hire more than one person just in case, because things like this is going to happen. I'm not doubting it. We're all human beings. I know sometimes we get sick, but just like I have to figure it out. When my baby is sick, I have to stay home. I have to watch him, and I still have to make that that weekly fee. And now the provider is sick, and I'm stuck and still have to pay someone and make the payment for the week. Like, it's just not making sense. So today, I don't know, like, no, not here. Not here. They changed the laws when it comes down to daycare. They change it. It's a money-making business. And daycare is supposed to be like, when all this holiday on top of it too, it's crazy. So the federal state has their schedule, the state have their own schedule, and the daycare has their own schedule. So all this money is going into this daycare, and it's not making sense. And so right now I'm in a situation where I need the daycare service. Sometimes when you speak your mind, then you get a backlash. And, I really don't trust. I'm not saying I don't trust the facility my son is in, but I hardly trust daycares nowadays, because I don't want them to take it out on my son and things of that nature, because we know the mind of people nowadays, right? You say something they don't like, the child get the end of it. You know what I mean? So it's alarming to me. It's not making sense. I have to make payments regardless, and daycare is not cheap, y'all. Kevin, please don't let me remove you, okay? Be respectful, because that has nothing to do with me. That's something you should keep to yourself. Yeah, Drew Ross, it's crazy. So, I sent my sincere message this morning, but I'm going to go over there and I'm going to have a conversation with them, because I will not be I'm dividing for the weekly pay. I'm going to divide the money that I had to pay someone to watch the baby for today, and that may be a problem. And I don't know if that's going to put me in a situation where I may have to, because this is not going to happen. That's what I'm planning to do, depending on how long. Like if I have to pay somebody to watch the baby for tomorrow, there's no way I'm going to do that. It's no way. And I'm not going to lie to you, it put me on a bad side this morning. And usually I'm one of those person that wakes up and always in good mood. But this right here, it just literally threw me off, and I didn't want to call out. Because y'all know my son wasn't feeling good last week, and I had to stay home with him. But we can't do that. Like, they need to have someone, they need to have backup. Thank you, Drew Ross. I don't know why Kevin felt like he need to share that. Come on. I'm telling you, man, these people. Morning, everyone. Trying to keep my cool this morning, you know. Yeah, it's alarming. Very much alarming. So I'm saying to myself, maybe I need to take my son out and put him into a one of those big daycare. Well, I want to say big daycare. It's a daycare that my daughter was going to before. It's a Christian base. The only thing though, it's a little, maybe 15 minutes away from my job. So it's like, I don't want to have to go through that knowing that this daycare is closer to me. You know, there's a little flexibility there. So I don't know if it comes with what I'm going through right now, if it's due, you know, when things is working out in your favor and this happened, it's like I'm trying to figure out what is the best decision at this point. Because at least I know with that Christian school, it's there's many classrooms rather, and I feel like he would have a little bit more leverage, a little bit more structure, because that's another thing too. You know, when you're expecting your child to have a little structure with daycare, they come home with these bad habits, and you know, but it is what it is at this point. Good morning, Fabi. Good morning. How are you? I'm on a little ranting this morning. You know, I'm just a little pissed off this morning. You know, thinking about this whole daycare system. There's no benefits to it when I think about it. You know, when I think about federal has their own schedule, the state has their own schedule for daycare being closed. Then the daycare itself on the internal part of it has their own schedule. What this means, I'm talking about, like, my son was sick the other day, and the entire week he went only one day, and I had to pay for the whole. And even if he's not in school, whether they're on vacation or not, I still have to pay for daycare. This morning, I'm getting ready to go to work. I gotta receive a message about about the provider being sick, and I'm like, isn't it supposed to be more than one provider? However, provider being sick. Now I'm in a situation where I have to find me a babysitter, and I have to pay for the babysitter and plus pay for this week. It's just not making any sense to me. And there is no, like, it's just unfair. These rules, these protocols, like, the government ain't helping us, you know, because all these rules and law, it's just to take our money. There's just too much holidays. It's just not making sense. Where can it's hard for parents to work whenever, you know, all these schedule. The traffic is crazy this morning. So yeah, we're on a little rant in here this morning. It's just not making sense. And at the end of the day, I mean, my son's need, you know, he needs to be in a daycare so I can work. But I don't like this. It's just not right. It's not right. So whether my son goes or not, I have to pay for daycare, and daycare nowadays for toddlers are almost $300, almost a week. So yeah, it's pissing me off this morning, I'm not gonna lie. And usually I talk about today I'm supposed to do my Monday motivational later on when I come in, and boy, I'm telling you, this is not right. Is anyone child is in daycare at this point? Do we have any mothers in the building, or dads that, parent that is going through the same situation like me, or everyone has their own nanny? I was thinking about that yesterday. I said, I need to hurry up and, stabilize like that where I can just have a nanny. But at the end of the day, my child needs to be in school anyway. So it doesn't matter which way I look at it. I just probably need to change where he's at, because this is nonsense to me. Nonsense. If you have a certain amount of kids in the daycare home, there's supposed to be more than one providers. If one's sick, the other one's supposed to, just like any other businesses, right? But you continue to collect our money. It's not making sense. Let me see what Fabi said. Hold on. Okay, so Fabi said, I've been there. I was paying daycares for 2, but never had an issue with them being closed. Okay, so they went to a Christian school. Okay, yeah, so that's the difference, Fabi, because, well, right now there's a Christian community school, but it's a little far out. It's a little bit more structured. My daughter used to go there before. But the daycare that my son go, it's a home-based one, right? But they have 2 providers there. And now I'm getting message for one provider that is being sick, and they closed the daycare for it. The point of is that, if my son doesn't go, I still have to pay for the entire week. And now that they are sick, well, not they, her, the one provider is sick at this point. So I'm questioning, where's the other one? But like I said, I'm just assuming that maybe the other provider is not available, or maybe it's her day off. I'm not sure what that's like, because I'm not on the other side of it. But it's just not fair knowing that I have to pay for a babysitter for today, and then I still have to pay for this week. That's what's pissing me off at this point. No, not this one. This one, they have 2 weeks vacation for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then they have one for, I don't know what they call it, and then the federal has their own schedule, right? And then the state has their own schedule. It's like I look on their schedule, and there's so much days off. I couldn't believe it. And I'm not talking about even on holidays. I mean, for high school, I get it, but not for daycares. Not for daycare. It shouldn't be. So what they did, they took advantage of high school schedule, or middle school schedule rather. So they take that, and now they start to channel it into the daycare, and parents still has to work. That's not what's going on right now. Not for me, because my son can't go to daycare today, and I had to figure it out this morning. Early this morning, I had to figure it out because I couldn't call out. It was just too close to the time. But that really bothered me. So now I have to, and this is not the first time this happened. I didn't want to, talk about it, but I said no. This is alarming now. So it's time for me to go talk about it. I'm gonna go in there today after work, and I'm gonna have a conversation. How many providers do you have? Because when I signed my son, I knew of 2 providers. So now you didn't mention it was 2 of you that was sick. It's only 1. So where's the other? This is a big inconvenience. And at this time, I'm getting this call. Well, not call, message rather. And daycare is not cheap, like I said, because for toddlers, it's almost $300 per week. So that's not cheap. Plus, I have to pay for someone. So that has to be paid. And then I have to pay for a sitter this morning. So the Christian school it's closer to my job, but it's about 15 minutes out. So it's just, it's a decision at this point. I have to make a decision because this is the second time now this is happening. It is. But here's the thing, when your child is with these provider all day, it's like, for me, I'm a woman that speaks my mind, but at the end of the day, my child is being there. So, and I have a trust issue because there's so much going on now within these daycares, So it's like I have to, they said you have to bite your tongue, right? You got to just humble yourself. And that's one of those things. I've been humbling myself. I pay the fee and everything like that. But this morning, it would be a big difference. It was a situation where last night, I knew, then I could have a family member or someone. But this happened this morning. Luckily, I had like a backup. I always think of risk mitigating because things happen. But the part where I'm having problems with is I just can't settle it knowing that, okay, I don't need to be paying this full fee. It's just not making sense. That's robbing right there. Unreliable, absolutely. But y'all, have a blessed one. I just wanted to speak my mind on that today. Something I don't normally do, but I gotta go. You be blessed, okay? I'll see y'all later. I'll be back on my live. Today is Mindset Monday. That's something I'll be conducting later, all right? Have a blessed one, y'all. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.